All right, time to piss people off. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on Rangers Central. And today we are going to be talking over our next free agent target in Chris Tanev. Before we jump into it, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're a Ranger fan, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. Why am I talking about Chris Tanev? Well, the reason why is because every video I get at least 2 or 3 requests to talk about him. Rightfully so, because the Rangers could use a guy like this where pure shutdown D-man, plays physical. The only issues here, which we'll get into the issues. Well, I'll actually save the issues. My first take of this, I just got them out of the way, but we'll mention the issues later on. But in terms of what he did this year, got traded to Dallas in the middle of the season, which I wish the Rangers were all over it, given it was, I think, like a second and a third, which the Rangers obviously used some of that ammo to get Wenberg. But Chris Tanev, a guy that was just an absolute stalwart for Calgary and Dallas. The biggest issues, which we'll get into one of his issues right away, injuries have been a problem for a guy like Chris Tanev over the past 2 seasons. Before that, really not an issue. Shortened season, full season. So it's really been the last 2 seasons, and that's something that you have to question. Is it going to hold up? Because he's 34 years old, and he's a guy where he plays a style that is so physically demanding on his body that you do have to question. It's a fair question that I think everyone's going to mention when it comes to Chris Tanev with signing him is, do you want to risk the fact that you're giving a multi-year deal to a guy that could be a little injury prone slash to a guy that is 34 years old and plays that style of game? We'll talk about more of him. 2 points in 19 playoff games. He's not here to put up points. If you're expecting points from him, take a hike, because that's just not what he does. He's a guy that could put up 20 points in a season, but don't necessarily count on it every year. And again, he's not here for points. He's just not here for that. You get to the all 3 zones model, and this is what you want to see. The retrievals and exits, because what the Rangers struggle with in the playoffs, retrievals and exits. If you watched any lick of the games, you would know that. And everything in the blue, in terms of chances against per 60, in the blue. And there's nothing really too far into the red where it really, worries me with a guy like Tanev. It's just the only thing that might be an issue in terms of the defense here, with puck movement, I should say. Or it is puck movement. I should just say it's puck movement, to be honest with you, because he's good at retrieving the puck when it comes to just carrying it up the ice, I should say. But when it comes to dumps and stuff like that and trying to clear it out of the zone, that could be where things get a little shaky for a guy like Tanev, which we'll get to the zone exit stuff. And yeah, you look at this here, again, good in terms of the possession stuff. Clears a little bit worrisome on that regard, but it's nothing, too concerning, at least in my opinion. But again, at least, I could live with the fact as long as the puck's getting out of the zone. And then again, you look at retrievals, exits, stuff like that. You want to look at the evolving hockey stuff? Well, here you go, because the guy is, again, just so good defensively, especially this season. Like, this is why I think everyone wants Tanev. They see this in terms of the defense, and they're like, give me that on the team. And rightfully so. I mean, this guy is so good when it comes to positioning, when it comes to, again, physicality and keeping bodies away from the net, playing just physical and playing good in his own end. And again, even getting the puck out of his own end. Really good at that. So what would a contract look like? It would be a 4-year deal at about, where is it? 4.8 million, keep the change. Pretty steep for a guy 34 years old. And I don't know if you want to go an extra year to stretch out the AAV slash lower it, I should say. That's a steep AAV and a good amount of term for a guy that's 34, which makes sense. Which, again, projections don't always mean that that's what it's going to be. That does not mean the contract's going to be that. Maybe he gets less. Maybe he gets more. Hopefully less, though, if the Rangers were to sign him. And this would probably mean they have a trade in place for Jacob Trouba, because I can't envision a world where they even go after Chris Tanev unless Trouba's off the roster, because Fox, here to stay. Schneider, they're going to sign, and they only have 3.5 to sign, a left shot D-man and Braden Schneider. For Jacob Trouba, it's going to be smell you later, and he's going to end up, didn't mean to do that. I mean, even a buyout there, throwing him on the wing, I guess. No, a buyout there would give 7.5, which is still a good amount. Probably 2 of that will go to a guy like Schneider, and then you can maybe get a Carrier or something like that, which I wouldn't really mind that decor if they wanted to go with that. Miller, Fox, Carrier, Tanev, Jones, Schneider. I just talk myself into something. I could have. I think I just talked myself into something. But again, either way, this is hypothetical, so probably not going to happen. And we're just talking about this in terms of a fit, which obviously the fit's there again if they were to move Jacob Trouba. So I would like it if that was the case, but I just don't envision it happening. Which people are going to be like, well, why are you even talking about this then? People still want me to talk about players and talk about guys that, they could target and do a deep dive into in terms of what each player is about. And first to have a guy that could even log, 20 minutes a night for you, he can log a lot of minutes. Like, this is a guy that you could really play a lot in terms of, especially in the D zone. Like, he's going to be deployed a lot in the D zone. I wouldn't even hate if they put him down the third pair, to be honest with you. Do something like that, Jones, Tanev, something like that. Like, they have a couple different options if they wanted to go about that, if they got him. But yeah, again, you look at this stuff, and the expected goals against actually higher than the goals against. So shows that he got a little bit unlucky in terms of goaltending, which doesn't make too much sense, but it also does because, obviously he has Markstrom, he has Ottinger. Imagine with Igor Shesterkin back there. I don't think he's ever going to be on the ice for a goal against if that were the case. So, and I did want to show off because I know people care about plus minus. The fact that the guy barely puts up points and is a plus every year pretty much in his career except for literally 1 year. I mean, that's the type of guy the Rangers could really use. I want to see if there's any other stuff that I could find here in terms of maybe entry defense stuff. I don't like to see that. I don't really like to see that much. I don't like that. I mean, McAvoy's down here too. McAvoy did have a down year. Klingberg down here, that's a yikes. Gerard, Dahlin. I mean, there's a couple of good defenseman power that are down here for some reason. I don't know. Even Doolin, who had a decent year down here, which is interesting. But again, there are things that, well, maybe it's not the worst thing to be down here. It means he's not making too many risky plays. I don't know. But I like the player. It's just, again, it really comes down to the question of, do you want to pay a guy that much, give that guy a lot of term, and do you want to risk signing a 34-year-old who has had a little bit of an injury history the past 2 seasons? I don't know, but that's where you guys let me know in the comments. Tell me all your thoughts. Tell me you hate the idea. Tell me you love the idea. Let me know all your thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next. I'll see you guys in the next one.